We have a very interesting person with us here on board today, and he's none other than the Managing Director of The Exclusive Home Designing, Mr. Dineshan Sivapalan. Hello and welcome, Mr. Dineshan Sivapalan. How do you feel? How are you doing?
I'm doing good, great.
That's lovely to see you. Now, I'll just cut right into the questions that we have. Every business owner has a why, the reason why they started it. Why would you think you started your business?
First of all, thank you very much to invite to your show. So, first to your question, uh, uh, to be honest, from my childhood onwards, actually I wanted to be a entrepreneur. But in those days, I never know what will be, and the scenarios are different. But childhood onwards, in surrounding me, so many business surroundings are there. So after that, after my schooling, since from my schooling and when I started my business in 2016, so I almost had a 13 to 14 years of experience and employed, so nationally and internationally. So so that time I had a confidence, so better to start a business in my own. So that's why I thought to start in a small scale. So that is not a major thing. Everyone have that dream. So the same thing happened to me also, I guess.
Now, everyone deals with fear and doubt, specifically when there's a lot of responsibility vested upon yourself. Now, since you are an entrepreneur, how do you deal with fear and doubt on a daily basis?
Fear always there, fear always there, and the doubts are always there when it comes to challenging phases. So especially in Sri Lanka current situations, so when I took the order, and when I get new orders, and we should have to deliver in a proper way, the quality wise and on time, and there's a fear. At the same time, the sustainability should be there. So those are the things. The fear always there and the doubts always there, but we luckily we are still surviving and the sustaining. And at the same time, having to say this, I have a great professional team behind me. So when it comes to designing and the manufacturing, and there's so many people get together and implementing. So that is a major part, but that's always fear in the doubts are there. But we are lucky to overcome that.
How does your business look different now versus when you first started it?
Well, it's a good question. To be honest, when I started in 2016, so that's the time the interior design and this concept is bit new to the market. So in that time, we need to implementing. We need to tell to the client so many things, and because they didn't know the proper knowledge in terms of designing and there's so many things. But when it comes to recent past, so the nowadays the clients also the knowledge, they gain very knowledge. So they used to travel so many countries, and that is our life makes easy at the time. Now they have much better understanding than before. So that is the different, I would say.
Now, undoubtedly, Mr. Dineshan, to properly market your business, you need to have a good reputation or like a booming revenue. So, how did you market your business, and how did you build a loyal audience from scratch?
Good question. So that is very simple. That T exclusive home designing, we cater the everything in one roof. Everything means total interior solutions. So that is starting from the furnishing, interior designing, to the furnishing, curtaining, sofa, plumbing, electrical, tiling, color wash, everything we do. So that is the easiest part, because when you're comparing to other ventures, so the easiest way to market to the clients. So we are the only one company in Sri Lanka that is very proud to say that. So we are the one company in Sri Lanka, we are catering everything in one roof. So that is very simple.
That is actually, I think, for the audience, it will be a lovely message. So, if they have their needs, they can come to the exclusive home designing to get everything done. Now, Mr. Dineshan, running your own business is not the easiest thing to do. Like any other job, no one loves it full time. Now, what is the hardest part of being an entrepreneur?
First of all, I would say the labors. So we should have skillful labors, and the quality and the cost. It all matters. So in Sri Lanka, especially in these times, very challenging. So we are very difficult, but at the same time, we are managing everything in every corner, and we are brush ups, and we are not telling that so many challenges, but we are pointing out to the every corners, and we are just rectifying, and we are doing.
Exactly. Now, Mr. Dineshan, so entrepreneurship is something that is very personal. Now, your business is completely your own business. Now, how would you say that entrepreneurship, being an entrepreneur, how has it personally developed you?
This question I can ask you, I can tell you in some different way. So when it comes to my experience, we cater different segment of customers. So that very different experience we had through that. At the same time, international experience. So I used to travel so many countries. So I have seen and I have discussed, and still I'm talking, and we are getting advices from different people. So that is the thing, I guess.
Now, Mr. Dineshan, it is undoubtedly very clear that the exclusive home designing is thrilling and thriving. So, at what point did you look back at your business and thought, okay, this business, this is my business, this is a success?
Actually, I'm not fulfilled because I'm a person. I'm not. You can. No one can satisfy me easily. So, but in recent past, we have won so many awards. So, I don't need to mention one by one, internationally and nationally. And still, we are learning, and still so many areas to be improved. So but I'm a bit happy, I'm very much happy, that means so when we are started to year and so many the natural disasters, and we need to face it out, and so many things, and overcome in that way, and we are much happier.
Now, you definitely have been recognized for the work that you have done and that you have received a couple of awards as well. Why don't we talk a bit about that?
It's not nice. I'm just talking about but because I honored, and it's really privilege to talk BWI awards. So the Business World International Awards, we won consecutively 3 years, and the Quality Maintaining Awards we won in France, Paris, and we have won Asian Pacific Award, South Asian Pacific Awards, and yeah, it's quite a few. It's not, I don't think it's fun is enough for us to talk about the awards, but I don't take the awards are big granted. But it's nice to have awards in once in a way to just boost up. So yes.
Now, you itself, you are an leading interior designer here in Sri Lanka. Who is your biggest role model, Mr. Dineshan?
Role model, that's quite a few, but there's no need to go away because I have seen him from my childhood and still now, none other than my uncle. So he also, I heard that he also came from grassroots. So it's a tremendous way he carries life, and the way he started his business and where he is now, and so many things I can say. So simply is my uncle.
Now, since you said that your biggest inspiration in your life is your uncle, I think we definitely should know who your uncle is.
Why not? He's Mr. Thavaraja.
And now, since you said that your uncle is your role model, why don't we talk a bit about him? Was he in the same field as you worked?
No, he's a completely different field. So they're into suiting materials. They are the leading suppliers in the country.
Mr. Dineshan, now one last question from you. Now, since you yourself, you are a very successful entrepreneur, I would say, what would your advice be to someone who's just starting their own business, someone who's making that one big step?
To be honest, I'm not a big person to give advices to others. But I would say, well, if someone is starting a new business, they first of all they should have integrity, and they should know about their product very well, and they need to study the market, and internationally and nationally. And these days, uh, you need to do the imports, and when it comes to the so many areas, they need to study very well, and they can start there. So many competitions are there, but they have to look out those areas, and they can start. Yes.
Now, Mr. Dineshan, now I would say that you are a very successful entrepreneur and that you love it. We can see it. What would you say is your favorite part of being an entrepreneur?
13 years I employed, already I said that before. 13 years of experience. I worked in different companies nationally and Sri Lanka and internationally. But I was a cricketer, and I want to be a social servicer and social responsibility, and so many extracurricular activities I have done from the schools. So after start this business, I have a more time to do other things, like when it comes to cricket and public social service and so many things. So I have that freedom to do it. At the same time, I have more time to think in to expand our business next level, and so many freedoms are there. So that is the main part I'm thinking that in terms of others, because I always have a freedom and the time, but anytime I can do whatever I want. But normally I have that passion to helping people, so I have the foundation. You should have.
Now, I think the Sri Lankan, the national cricket team of Sri Lanka should be very careful since Mr. Dineshan has a lot of free time in his hand being a successful entrepreneur. Now, since you said that you've played cricket and you have prior experience playing cricket, what is the highest that you've reached in terms of the cricket field?
I played my school, played for school from under 13 to under 19, and I got selected in under 19 Sri Lankan pool as well. And I couldn't, unfortunately, I couldn't get a chance. After that, I moved to Dubai, and I played in different few teams as well. And now also just I am helping some schools and coaching. Yeah, and so many things I'm doing. Yes.
Now, given the experience and the background that you have in cricket, I think the Sri Lankan national team should definitely be scared of you and should take you in if they have, a vacancy for you as well. I have a couple of cheats here, and there are some games here inside.
Blue, red, and green. Okay.
Game number one, rapid fire session.
Oh.